Welcome back to Unstable TV! And you're through to Irish Couple Reacts. And do stay tuned because this happens every week.
So if you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of these videos. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you!
Thanks for joining us for another react! So Danielle, what are we reacting to on Unstable TV?
So today we're going to be taking a look at history of North Korea in 4 minutes.
Cuatro minutos. I don't even know that. 4 minutes. Let's do this. Shout out to everyone in the comment section that did ask us to check this out. So without further ado, let us go.
Believe it or not, the Korean peninsula has been inhabited for over 100,000 years. Early kingdoms established an incredibly strong Korean military presence in East Asia that was able to keep Russia, Mongolia, and China from invading. Fast forward to the 1st century AD, they were united under some really powerful dynasties until 1897 when the Korean Empire was established. Things are getting spicy, I see. However, the Korean Empire didn't last long because in 1910, Japan invaded the peninsula and took over everything. They were terrible. They suppressed Korean traditions and language and only ran the economy to benefit themselves. Naturally, the Korean people weren't exactly okay with this, and there was a lot of guerrilla warfare to try and
makes
take
a lot
the
of sense.
Japanese out. One of those guerrillas was a guy named Kim Il-sung, but more on him later. Things were pretty peachy for the Japanese until the end of World War II when they were finally kicked out. That's when the peninsula was divided into two parts. The United States supported the capitalist South and the Soviet Union supported the communist North. For whatever reason, that never seems to end well. The Northerners weren't exactly happy about this arrangement and thought, why don't we just control everything? So they invaded the South, and that's when the Korean War started. And it was really devastating for everyone involved since more than 3 million people ended up dying in just 3 short years. The war eventually ended in 1953, and North and South Koreas were internationally recognized as two different countries separated by the demilitarized zone. Ironically, it quickly became the most militarized zone in the history of the world. Surprisingly, life for the North Korean people wasn't that bad immediately following the war. In fact, they were better off than the South Korean people in the 60s and 70s since Kim Il-sung was best buds with Stalin and had a ton of Soviet resources to help boost the economy. Unsurprisingly though, not all of those resources were used to boost the economy. You see, Kim Il-sung was super interested in nuclear power and used the Soviets' money to do a bunch of research, development, and tests. This naturally wasn't exactly okay with the rest of the world, so the UN asked them to stop, and North Korea said no. Then the UN asked again, and North Korea said maybe, and then no. Okay, back to the North Korean people.
Yes,
even though
but
they
no.
were doing better economically for the first 20 years of division, they were also losing their individualism and freedom. You see, Kim Il-sung was a bit of a narcissist, and so he put a cult of personality into place. That basically means everyone has to worship the dear leader, and anyone who doesn't is violently punished. Also, he was the guy who established the Juche, which is the ideology that North Korea should basically be Miss-Independent, to be entirely self-sustaining and not accept any help from anyone ever. Except, of course, from China and the Soviet Union. What? As you can probably guess, this ideology didn't exactly work out, and the economy started to plateau and decline in the late 80s and then took a complete nosedive in 1991 when the Soviet Union collapsed. A few years later, Kim Il-sung conveniently kicked the bucket and his son Kim Jong-il took over as the narcissist in charge. I'm quite certain he was more than ready to take on the role. Kim Jong-il was just as bad as his father. In the mid-90s ended up being a really rough time for North Korea. There was a ton of flooding which absolutely decimated their crops and led to a famine that killed anywhere from 250,000 to 3.5 million people. The situation was so bad that the dear leader had to accept large quantities of food aid from the
knows all about that.
In the 21st century, things became mildly better for the North Korean people, but not much. While the famine was over, people still struggled to get enough to eat since the government underpaid most of its citizens and gave them very little freedom in choosing a career. In 2011, Kim Jong-il died and his son Kim Jong-un took over. Yes, this guy, who's apparently best pals with Dennis Rodman? What? Just like his ancestors, Kim Jong-un is a big fan of nuclear weapons and threatening the West with them, but he did something none of them were able to accomplish. He met with both the president of South Korea and the president of the United States of America. During the meetings, they reportedly talked about reunifying the Koreas and throwing out all the nukes. But sadly, not a lot came from those meetings. For now, North Korea remains one of the most repressive states in the entire world and is continuously ranked as one of the worst human rights violators. They don't allow their citizens to travel freely within the country, they imprison people for the most arbitrary offenses, and they rely on forced labor to keep their economy running. Things are so bad that we are
That's
seeing
disgusting.
an ever-growing North Korean refugee population. In South Korea alone, there are over 31,000 North Korean refugees living and working in what is, to them, a completely different world.
Stay curious.
Exactly.
So first off, big shout out to your original content creator. Brilliant put together video. We actually did not know a lot of North and South Korea's history, but I feel we're a bit more enlightened after this, and we hope the viewers who suggested this and are watching now feel the same way. The amount of famine and killing that was just going on is disgusting to see, but unfortunately to get all the facts you have to get the ugly side of history as well. So what did you think?
Yeah, I didn't realise that the North Korea, South Korean and American president met to unify the two Koreas. I didn't realise that was a thing at all, actually, so I'm going to have to look into that more because that's kind of interesting.
I didn't realise that nothing came from the talks of Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un.
Like when they did meet, nothing really happened afterwards, so nothing really went on, but I don't really know why they met though.
Yeah, like they said to talk about the nukes, but it was more about photo ops than anything else, to be honest. It was more of like a business thing, wasn't it?
Like if anybody can let us know what actually did come out of that, because we're going to look it up after, but as far as we're aware, we didn't hear anything about it. We literally just seeing pictures.
Yeah, literally. That's it. So anyone down below in the comment section, let us know what your guys' thoughts are on this, and let us know if you study either North Korea history. Is this accurate? Have you anything further to add? So that is our 2 cents, and we will chop ourselves out of this.
So as always, you are the beautiful people of YouTube, and we have been Unstable TV.
So drop a comment below and let us know what you thought of this reaction video. And if you have any suggestions for us to do, let us know too.
And as always, we will see you in the next one. Bye.